This is the one.
If you need,
Officer 148, One, number 0, and B. Eradicate all E.
Is the concert? Let's make a grand entrance.
Looks like there's something here. Is this?
Proxy, look at this. A communicator left right at the Hollow's entrance.
Why is there a communicator here? It doesn't look like it was left behind randomly.
There's hardly any dust on its surface, which means it was only placed here recently. It looks like someone wants us to use it.
Ah, such decisiveness. Following random location info without even thinking twice. I'm glad, Sniper of Liar Squad.
Liar Squad? What's that? More importantly, who are you?
Sniper. Or should I say Charon now? Haven't you shared your past with our dear Proxy? If introductions aren't your strong suit, I'd be happy to show you how. You can call me Grim Vulture, the one behind this string of murders. You see, I've been working my way down a list, crossing off names. And now, Charon of Liar Squad, your name's next.
Looks like you've done your homework on me. Just because my presence interfered with your plan, you've decided to take me out for good?
I thought you were just going to be another obstacle in my way. And now, with you in my sights, this must be some kind of destiny.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I'm looking for someone. Given that you're waiting at the Hollow entrance they shared, I'm guessing you have them. If you hand them over, perhaps we can make a deal.
So your version of making a deal is stalling for time to locate me and lining up your shots? Can't say I'm surprised. After all, that's exactly what I plan to do too. You seem to have rather unique eyes, but you'll never get the chance to hit me. After all, no one's better at counter-sniping than me.
Seems talking won't resolve this, but I'm not averse to using force.
Now that's the spirit! If you're looking for someone, why not search the Hollow for clues? Providing you can survive both my attacks and those of the ethereals, of course. Oh, and I've prepared a little gift for all your trouble. I hope you still have that determined look on your face after seeing it.
Watch out for Grim Vulture taking shots from afar. Is there nothing we can do?
Suppressing fire. Now,
I found a box.
remember what's inside the box, right? Your loyal team's cap. The one Sticks always wore.
Take the shot.
Curious as to how he died. He took his own life. Now it wasn't much different from being offed by cereals.
Let my song move everyone.
Cereals had almost completely taken over his body. He was being corrupted, covered in ether crystals. The core was almost fully formed.
Another high-pressure ether tank. And a lot of ethereals have already been drawn to it.
We did it, Proxy. Let's keep moving.
Acheron's favorite gloves. It wasn't easy getting my hands on them.
I'll join your melody.
As expected of such a famous, beautiful commander, even her gloves are stylish.
Recalibrating.
How about
Such a pity. Don't you think that's a shame, little sniper? This beautiful hand is we could no longer hold. Cereal's gnawed off her arms and part of her leg as well.
move behind me?
But she still had some backbone. She stood tall, even in death. It's just as I said. She died from multiple fatal wounds. Even the most beautiful flower will wither without protection, won't it? Now, do you think I'm telling the truth or a lie this time?
How long do you intend to keep up this game of cat and mouse? I'll be coming to your hideout soon. Wipe that smile off your face and wait. Wait and see what I'm going to do. Holding position.
All right, I'll take the mic. Catch the rhythm.
Good for you. Congratulations! You found the third box. Inside is... Who was it again? Oh, right. A piece of bloody fabric from Cocytus's clothes and some damaged engineering gear stained with Leafy's blood. There weren't enough boxes, so I had to cram them together. They're just a medic and an engineer, not exactly combat material, right? Surely you're not mad, are you?
That's enough. Using her squadmates who are like family to mentally torture her. How much longer are you planning on doing this?
Oh dear, did I go too far? My sincerest apologies. It's just, watching you plunge headfirst into my trap was so entertaining. I may have gotten a bit carried away, you know? Relax. The person you're looking for isn't here, and those are just fakes. I didn't actually take them from her comrades. Her comrades are long since corpses in the hollow, after all. How could I possibly have gotten hold of their clothes? A decisive strike to be sure. But as I've already said, your awareness, sight, and experience mean nothing in front of a more skilled sniper.
I didn't expect to kill you so easily. There was a subtle change in your ether fluctuations the moment I fired. That was all I needed. You knowing my past makes me feel sick. But after seeing that you're just a coward who feels fear from another's killing intent, it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
Coward, you say? How fascinating. You were little more than a hollow shell before, but now that you've bared your teeth, you've started looking somewhat respectable. I know your composure is nothing more than a facade. You've never truly faced the weight of your comrades' deaths, have you? I bet your mind is now filled with their dying screams.
We both believe her squad is still alive. You can stop with the lies. Why are you so fixated on Charon? Just because she used to serve in the defense force? She has nothing to do with your target.
Nothing to do with it? Then why don't you go ask her about it? What surprises me more is you actually believe her teammates are still alive. Don't tell me she dragged you into all this danger without telling you anything.
Shut up.
If she won't tell you, I will. Those so-called alive squad mates of hers went missing during the fall of the old capital. I'm sure you know exactly what that means. When the old capital fell, countless Defense Force soldiers were either killed by ethereals or became them. The surviving soldiers, struggling to defend themselves, never had the opportunity to carry their comrades' bodies out of Hollow Zero. Obviously, her squad mates, the members of Liar Squad, were among the dead. But since their bodies were never found, she insists they're still alive, even going as far as to deceive her own proxy. It's laughable.
I didn't lie to the proxy. They're alive. I have proof. Someone like you could never understand.
I could never understand? Huh. You think it's hard to understand your childish thought process? If you really have solid proof, why not tell me? Come on, let's hear it!
My eyes. I lost nearly 90% of my vision during the fall of the old capital. But in return, I gained the ability to see what others can't. Every second of every day for years, I've seen my squad mates. Not as fleeting shadows, but vivid and lifelike. They've never disappeared. They're alive, waiting for me to find them. Why else would I have been given these eyes?
That's your proof? Did you hear that? Proxy hiding in the bamboo. She spent years chasing after people who couldn't possibly exist, all because of some ghostly visions. You'd rather believe those visions of your teammates are real-time projections than accept that they're dead. What if I told you the way I described their deaths before was the absolute truth? Will you finally face reality? Or will you keep fooling yourself, believing in ghosts? I guess you'll keep deceiving yourself. Because that's how you survive.
I'm not lying to myself. I really
want to find your squad mates who have been missing for years and were officially declared dead? You couldn't protect them when the old capital fell, and now you're just making up stories to fool yourself. To give yourself some so-called reason to go on, to latch on to any stupid excuse. You're just a selfish, naive coward who did nothing and couldn't do anything when your comrades were dying. Giving up already? At least you've got a shred of dignity left. Nothing disgusts me more than a useless hypocrite. Enough of this. Time to die, coward.
Charon is not a coward. Someone who enters the Hollows despite the condition of their eyes is anything but a coward. At the very least, she's far braver than a criminal like you, who hides in the shadows, enjoys torturing others, and is constantly in fear of being caught.
Roxy,
Your proxy sure has a way with words. I won't waste any more of my breath. Just die already.
I've completed analysis of the surrounding fissures. Charon, step out of it. We can use that fissure to escape.
Fissures? When did you... Still trying to play tricks.
Charon? Do you want some hot cocoa? I'm sure you're exhausted after such a tough fight. You should get some rest.
thanks, but I'm fine.
Don't listen to Grim Vulture. They'd say anything to get under your skin. Once we start doubting the truth, we've fallen into their trap.
No, Proxy. I think Grim Vulture has a point. Maybe it's all just in my head. The things Grim Vulture left. When I touched them, I was reminded of the day the old capital fell. I felt the same sensation when I touched an injured comrade. I tried to shake off that feeling, but the truth is, I can't stop thinking about the possibility that all my squad mates are dead.
Would you be willing to share more? What really happened on the day the old capital fell with you and the Liar Squad?
That day, in the first hour Hollow Zero started expanding, Defense Force HQ thought it was just a normal Hollow disaster, and thought they could suppress it with the standard amount of troops. Liar Squad was among the first troops sent there. Before we left, our superiors promised reinforcements would be on the way to support us in combat, so we didn't need to worry too much about facing the Ethereals. But soon after we began the mission, we realized things weren't going to go like we thought. The Ethereals came at us like an endless tide. The Hollow expanded beyond control, and more importantly, the reinforcements never came. The Defense Force troops outside the Hollow soon realized this was no ordinary disaster. Hollow Zero was devouring Eridu at horrifying speed. The reinforcement plan was called off, and the promised troops retreated. Honestly, even if they had come to help, it wouldn't have changed anything. I watched as members of the advanced force around me died one after another, or were corrupted into ethereals. Our squad slowly lost the strength to maintain formation. I was a weak point in our formation. An ether shot fired by an ethereal hit my eyes, corrupting them. Because of that and several other wounds, I shortly lost consciousness. I'm not sure how long I was out, but just before losing my vision, I briefly regained consciousness. The last thing my eyes saw was my squad mate standing in front of me, looking back. When I woke up again, I was already back at base. The higher-ups detonated the Shiryu pillars, and finally managed to bring Hollow Zero under control. I don't know who rescued me from the Hollow, but none of my squad mates had made it out. For some reason, the image of my squad mates being the last thing I saw has stayed in my mind. It must be some kind of sign. A sign that they're still alive. Don't you think? They must have continued fighting after I fell unconscious, eventually getting lost in some hollow and losing contact with the main force, left to wander between the various hollows of New Eridu. That must have been what happened, right? The defense force, civilians, no one believes me. So I decided to find them myself. The reason behind these eyes, it's got to be to guide me to finding them still alive. Am I wrong, Proxy? Are these eyes pointless? I knew that's what you thought. Interpreting what my eyes see as proof my squad mates are still alive is just wishful thinking. But if they're really gone, why would I have been given these eyes, which bring nothing but pain? If they're truly no longer alive, how can I apologize to them in person? Tell them I'm sorry. Sorry for being so weak. Sorry that I failed to protect them. Their faces are all so blurry. I can't see their expressions. I can't even bear to look at them. If their final look at me was filled with resentment and disappointment, I wouldn't know how to handle it.
Charon, listen to me. Even if everyone else thinks you're wrong, Belle and I will always stand by your resolve to find your squad mates. You don't need to make any justifications. Because someone close to us is missing too. And we desperately hope she's still alive. Even if the whole world doesn't understand, we will never give up. But I also think, being consumed by this obsession, unable to move forward, that's not what those who matter to us would want.
That's right. Charon, you're a very kind person. Maybe that's why you feel responsible for protecting everyone, and regret when you can't do enough. But you don't have to carry it all on your own.
Yeah, you can trust us to have your back. We're certain that Grim Vulture hasn't killed the client yet. As long as we have a lead, there's still hope, and we'll be your support. Your will and determination shouldn't be dismissed. No matter how things turn out, we'll stand by your side, and we'll face it together.
Proxy, thank you. I feel better now. At the very least, I want to keep investigating. I'm not just going to stop here.
Sorry to disturb you at this hour. Did you go investigate that new hollow? How's it going? Oh, never mind. The client just shared a new location with me on Knock Knock.
They're pretty eager, huh? Which hollow is it this time?
No, it's not a hollow. If I'm reading this right, this location is Scott Outpost.
Scott Outpost? Isn't that managed by the Defense Force and White Star Institute? What's Grim Vulture up to?
It's Remembrance Day. Don't you recall what Aaron said before? They're holding an event right now, and the place will be open to the public.
So they're not trying to lure us into a hollow this time. What's the deal? Are they trying to taunt us?
Whether it's a provocation or a trap, I'm not missing any chance to face Grim Vulture. Proxy, will you go with me?